After nearly a decade of dedicating my life's work to YouTube.com, they terminated all of my channels. For those of you that don't know, before I started live streaming 3 months ago, I amassed 1 million subscribers on my main channel called Sneako, doing artistic, creative, funny videos with the motto of seeking truth through funny. I started in middle school, taking the bus home and then uploading my Call of Duty commentaries, evolving to my famous series called the 1 Minute Podcast, where I was interviewing people on the streets of New York City.
You may have heard the news that Sneako's been banned off of YouTube, and you would be right. That in itself isn't too surprising thanks to his rather controversial takes.
Focus on being independent.
Oh my God. Chat, you know what I'm about to say? Y'all know what I'm about to say, right? Look at that. Look at that.
Bomboka!
Holy. That's what you got. Zero personality, no cooking skills, and that looks ridiculous. You look shocked. Why do you look like that?
But what is surprising is the termination of the channels Sneako would actually initially rise on. Both his Sneako and Shneako channel were terminated without the use of YouTube's usual 3-strike system. Sneako has also been removed from Twitch indefinitely. Considering that these are his main streams of influence and revenue, we can confidently say that Sneako is a part of a select few that have been truly deplatformed. Many people don't agree with the decision, to be blunt. But is YouTube or Twitch right to ban him? Let's look at another time YouTube decided to censor a channel. This information is courtesy of BBC News, and I quote, "YouTube is not a public forum. In the case involving the censorship of a channel by the name of PragerU, judges ultimately decided that, and I quote, the US Constitution's First Amendment did not apply to YouTube, a private company. This means that unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you view it, Sneako is not entitled to a defense like freedom of speech when it comes to what he says on certain social platforms. Even though he's not entitled to the full extent of freedom of speech, he should at least get a fair rap, right? Did Sneako even break YouTube TOS? Well, the truth is that it's difficult to really tell thanks to YouTube's new and absurdly generic terms of service. If they feel that you violate these terms of service, you are, however, subject to potentially being immediately terminated off the site without strikes for warning. Sneako started off as a YouTuber more so on the film side of YouTube, so you may be wondering how could he have made it to YouTube's hit list when he initially started off being loved by fans for his refreshing and down-to-earth content.
Over 19 years of age, haven't accomplished the dreams you had as a kid. That's a statistic I made up and it sounds pretty reasonable. But now as a 15-year-old, my dream job is to be a comedian. I really believe that if you're motivated to do something that you're good at, you can do it. This is comedy, admittedly a strange form of it, but if you look at it, I'm entertaining thousands of people through comedy every day. I'm a comedian right now, and if it were a job, it'd be incredible. It's depressing to think how few people actually end up doing what they love doing. If you look at the most successful humans of all time, they were all ambitious and visionary.
How many of you have really followed through your dream?
His close ties with Andrew Tate can be blamed for this sudden deplatforming. While it's not confirmed why exactly Sneako has been deplatformed, Andrew Tate had been terminated for violating terms of service shortly before Sneako's termination. What can be said is that Sneako's termination was accompanied by a generic automated message claiming that his content violated community guidelines. Assuming that YouTube is truthful in their evaluation and using context clues to realize that it's no coincidence that they banned Andrew Tate followed by Sneako, we can comfortably say that it's likely Sneako was banned due to his message. This isn't unreasonable to believe and would be consistent with their banning of Andrew Tate as well as their censorship of PragerU. With a suspension from Twitter, termination from YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok, it's no longer a question of whether or not they were right to take him off the site. I say this because every time Sneako gets kicked off another site, every other platform feels that much more pressure to do the same, and they get that much more approval. It's a lot harder to make a decision that no one else makes, so when every platform does it, no longer does it end up a requirement that there's a fair judgment of the content Sneako posts on one platform versus another. Despite all of this, I want to give Sneako the benefit of the doubt, but his conduct on the platforms he inhabits have been very questionable in the past. It's really a shame that this is what things have come to for a YouTuber that seemed to have one of the brightest futures in his niche. Sneako has been banned.